So it probably says this is now being recorded. So may I welcome everybody to the, it's the 12th day of our mini MOMMs. We did our big MOMM on the 10th of May, Moments of Mass Mindfulness. And then I was asked to continue for a little while. And I've always come from the background that when we start to meditate, for many, it starts to be a few moments of release of like, oh my goodness, I feel so much better. I feel so much calmer. And I'm always aware that once we start this journey of meditation, we really need to continue to support in any way we can so that we are available for you, because of being trusted sources, trusted voices, professional, well trained, and with an absolute passion to do this ourselves. So the deep integrity, so that we've been doing this for the 12 days afterwards is wonderful. So thank you so much for joining. Most days I've had a few messages today that people can't make it today, so this is why it's great to record it. So a brief introduction. I'm Sue Cooper. I'm the founder of MOMM, Moments of Mass Mindfulness. And I also have another string to my bow, which is called Self-Care World. So that's the various ways that you can see the work I'm doing, selfcareworld.org. My background in nursing and in mindfulness and meditation, and also in the ancient healing tradition of Ayurveda. I use this together for myself to look at the integration of healthcare, our beautiful healthcare service, but also self-care. Self-care is often called preventative within the healthcare service, but my view is that what we're trying to prevent, we're not waiting for something to happen to prevent it. Let's start being more active participants in our own beautiful, vibrant journey into this vibrant health and conscious well-being. So the bedrock of all this is, in my view, mindfulness and meditation. It's a wonderful anchor to bring us into this present moment, to settle this nervous system of ours, which is often overactive. And when we have overactive nervous systems, we often move into a stressful place. And we know that stress causes inflammation of the body. So if we can settle our nervous system down through relaxation and through calming the mind, then the hormonal system, our beautiful hormones, which we call the inner pharmacy, are there to do its work. So, you know, we get the insulin secretion that changes our sugar. So we're not storing too much sugar. We've got the thyroid, which helps with our metabolism. We've got the pineal gland up here, which helps with our sleep patterns, the pituitary gland at the back. So all these various hormonal, the hormonal system, we call it the endocrine system, allows our body to maximize its own potential, because they work effectively when we're not in a stress situation. And then what happens once our body's in a place of coherence, balance? Our immune system goes, okay, I can get to work now. I can really maximize my ability to keep the body safe and well. So the three systems, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system, all systems of the body work together. But meditation has been proven scientifically to really have a huge impact on those three systems. So when we bring ourselves into balance, then when we maximize our own immunity, when we go out into the world, we go out feeling more expanded and not as fearful, because we know that we're as protected as we can be because we're mindful. And in the times that we're living in at the moment, this rapid change is causing a lot of disquiet for I would suggest probably for all of us in various degrees. So to do this with this kindness at the heart of it, our kindness for ourselves, and then radiating out care and compassion to others, puts us in a beautiful place in the driving seat, really. So today is our last day together at 12 o'clock, and when we come and after we've done our meditation, I'll talk a little bit more about what's happening for the next 5 weeks for you to join in. If you should want to do that, you need to have quite a lot of information here. So I think it's time now to settle in, and I'm going to take you on a little journey today. And we did oh, excuse me. We did we looked at some of the energy centers yesterday, and we looked at the rainbow colors. So I'm going to take you on one of my favorite journeys, which is a rainbow garden. It's light, it's bright, it's gentle, it's fun. So it's working with imagery. So shall we settle in? So firstly, we're going to be in this mindfulness imagery for about 20 minutes. So let's start by unfurling, placing our feet on the floor, or if you're sitting on the floor cross-legged, feel yourself earthed. Unfurling your arms and placing your hands however feels good for you in this moment. Palms up, palms down, one hand holding the other. And then finding that place of comfort in the seat that you're sitting in, or the floor. And just take a moment just to get that extra little bit of comfort. And if during the practice you start to feel, I'm not quite comfortable, acknowledge it and then change your position or deal with it accordingly. We don't have to sit still all the time. But the idea of getting into this centered balance at this stage means that our focus doesn't move back to the body, it stays within the guided practice. Chin down a little. And then if you should like to, close your eyes or lower your gaze, and then softly focus if you're having your eyes open. Before we go on our little journey into this beautiful garden, I invite you to connect with the breath to start with. We'll have a few moments of settling down from the outer world to the inner experience. So breathing in and out through the nose if you're able to do so. But if that isn't comfortable for you, then please breathe through your mouth, however feels right for you in this moment. Notice the natural breath. Simply noticing the breath entering the nose and then the breath leaving. Stay with the natural breath. It's often wise when we're moving from the activities of the day to really just gently bring ourselves slowly into the awareness of the inner experience, and bringing your attention to the breath is a beautiful way to do this. So breathing in naturally and breathing out naturally, and checking that you are comfortable, moving into a greater place of comfort, and checking in how you're feeling at this moment, without judgment, with kindness. Notice the activity of the mind. Notice how the body's feeling, any sensations or feelings within the body. And then notice any sounds you can hear within the body. It may just be the gentle movement of the breath entering the nose. And the gentle breath leaving the nose. And during this practice, if you become aware of noises in the environment, then that's absolutely fine. Bring your attention back to the guided meditation or the breath. Just settling down for a few more moments. We've checked in, and now we're going to bring our attention to the rise and fall of the chest as we breathe in and out naturally. And with your attention in the center of the chest, the area we call the heart space, I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. And the guidance here is asking yourself, what or who am I grateful for in my life? What am I grateful for? It may be a possession, it may be a place. Or who am I grateful for? It may be a person or a pet. So feel this feeling of gratitude and appreciation within the heart space as you visualize something that you are grateful for being in your life, or someone. Take yourself, see that image brighter in your awareness, clearer outlines. Stay with this image and then let it go. Just let it float away. But stay with this feeling of expansion within the heart space, this feeling of abundance, of love. And with our attention in the heart space, we're going to move into a few minutes of the heart lock-in, heart math meditation to really bring us into flow. So reminding us how to do that is the flow of the heart math coherence breath is we breathe in for the same count as we breathe out, without a pause in between, but it's a natural flow breath. And for many of us, 5 is a pretty good number, but find this number for yourself. But I'll guide you in the first few breaths, and then I'll watch the time for 3 minutes whilst we stay within this focused awareness of breathing in and breathing out for the same count. And during this 3 minutes, you may want to drop the count once you've got into this flow, but keeping your attention within the heart space. And sometimes with a smile on the lips as well, adds to that higher resonance. So let's breathe out. Exhale by pulling the belly into the back and then relaxing the belly. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now find that flow for yourself. Breathing in and breathing out for the same count. Flowing in and flowing out with your attention on your heart. The space is the rise and fall of the chest. So I'm going to watch the time for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to take you into a journey into a beautiful rainbow garden. So enjoy this, and if your mind wanders, just bring it back to the count or the flow of the breath. So the time starts now. Staying with a gentle breath in and out in your own flow. Staying with the flow of the breath, we let the count go. And we take ourselves into a beautiful place, facing a big iron gate. And we can see through this iron gate. And we stand in front of it. And the gate opens. And we're allowed to walk into this beautiful garden. And we do this with curiosity. As we start to walk forward on this path within this garden, in front of us is a whole bed of beautiful red flowers. And we see these red flowers and we marvel at the beauty of them. And we bend down to look closer at these flowers. We stop and we really look and we see the deep, vibrant red of these flowers. They're so clear in our mind's eye. And as we stand and look at these flowers, we notice that the path turns slightly and we're intrigued to walk slowly up this path. And as we walk up this path, we see in front of us a pond. So we stop at the pond and we look into the pond. And we notice that this pond is full of koi fish, which are bright orange. And they're swimming beautifully and quietly in this enormous pond. And we stand with all our senses alive. We see the ripples of the water and we see the abundance of these orange fish gently swimming in circles, gracefully, with very little disturbance of the water. And we marvel at the bright orange within this pond. Stop and really connect with this colour orange throughout this pond. And then our eyes look up and we see the path continues a little longer. So we start to walk up this path a little more and we're surrounded by this golden yellow light. And we look up at the sun. Not too brightly, but we're aware of this golden light all around us on this beautiful, beautiful day. And we stop and we feel the warmth of this golden sun throughout the whole of our body, and we breathe it in. Notice this golden light all around you as the sun shines gently down on you. We stop and we're totally immersed in this warmth of this golden light. The yellow sun is shining. It feels really good to just rest a while, feeling this golden sun, this yellow light all around us. And then we decide that we'll walk a little further along this path. And this path continues to move slightly up a hill. So we slowly and joyfully walk up this path a little more as it starts to go uphill. And we notice that the path turns into grass, and we feel the grass under our feet, and we see the green grass, the springiness of the dew as it glistens in the sunshine. And we move a little further as we walk along the grass, and we're surrounded by beautiful trees with their leaves, lime green leaves, that stipple the sun, but we're aware that we are surrounded by greenery everywhere we look. We feel it under our feet, we feel the softness of the grass. We see the leaves at eye level and above our head. And we feel the soothingness of the greenery all around us. It feels soft. Stay with this feeling of softness within this green oasis as we slowly keep walking forward. It's quite a big forest, but we know we're safe. Nature's supporting us. As we keep on walking slowly, we see a light at the end of the forest and we're drawn towards it. And as we come to the top of this gentle hill, we see the blue of the sky. The beautiful blue sky, the radiance of this sky. And we walk a little further and we come to a small enclave and we realise we're at the top of a hill. We've got the grass underneath us, so we sit down on the grass, but we're surrounded by blue sky. And as we look out further, we realise we're at the ocean. And we see the blue of the waves on the ocean as it meets the horizon. We're sitting down, resting, in awe of the colours of blue of the sky meeting the blue of the ocean. And we rest a moment and we're surrounded by this colour blue. We breathe it in. We stay still for a little while. And we notice that it's starting to become twilight. And the sky is starting to turn to this beautiful colour of indigo blue. Because the sun is starting to set a little. So the light is starting to change to indigo blue. It's a beautiful, vibrant richness. See if you can see that colour in your mind's eye. Indigo blue, as the sun is starting to set. And this indigo blue changes in to this sunset as the sun drops into the ocean. We start to see the colour of the clouds ahead of us, which are bright pink. As the sun drops, the sky becomes alive with the vibrancy of bright pink, violet. And we decide that we're going to rest a little more. We want to stay a little longer. And as the sun goes down and the violet light diminishes, we move into the stars and the moon. The moon rises and we're cascading with this moonlight. We feel absolutely safe and held. We're in our own space. We decide to lie down on the grass now, supported by the earth, looking up at the moon and the stars with wonder at the vastness of the universe. We simply rest here for a little while. There's nothing to do but to simply be at one with the universe, the stars and the moon. For a moment, just rest in this place of deep comfort. Breathing in and out the fresh, beautiful air. Feeling very comfortable. And now we become aware that it's starting to get light again. So we see the sun start to rise and the sky again goes into this beautiful colour of violet. Before the sun rises, the sky's alive. And we sit up. And we decide it's probably time to start our return journey. So we look at the sky and it's moving into this indigo blue again. See that indigo blue, the richness of this colour. And then the sky turns into this beautiful blue morning. And the ocean comes alive again. And we see the horizon between the sky and the water. And we give thanks for this new day. And we know it's time to return. So we turn around and we see the forest. We see the greenery in the forest. And we walk on the pads of the grass with our feet. We feel the softness underneath our feet. We see the dew on the grass twinkling. And we're surrounded by the beautiful leaves of the trees as they've opened up for a new day. And then through the trees, we see the stipple sun, and we feel its warmth on our head and on our body. We walk through the forest, and we see the light at the end of the forest, and we enter into it again, and we feel this bright yellow sunlight, the vibrancy of a new day warming our body. We continue to walk and we see the pond. And we wonder if the fish are still in the pond. Are they swimming? So we make our way to the pond and there they are, the beautiful orange fish. See that vibrancy of that orange and feel it. Feel its nurturingness. And we say goodbye to the pond and the fish and we walk further down the path. And right in front of us are these red flowers, and they're opening up to the sun on this new day. There's little bits of dew on the ground still. We see the dew on the flowers, but we stop and we really, really take in the beauty of this deep red flower. There's loads of them all around you. We now know it's time to leave the garden. So we turn around and we see the gate. We see the metal gate, it's open. And we walk through the gate and then we turn around and we look back at the beauty in front of us. And we have this feeling in our heart that we're starting another new day in the vibrancy of those beautiful colours that we've experienced. And we let all those colours go. And we rest for a moment outside the gate. The gate's still open, we can go back anytime we want. But we decide it's time now to move on with our day. So we decide that we are now going to become very mindful of our breath. The images remain within our awareness of these beautiful colours that we've experienced in nature, and we can revisit them anytime, but it's now time that we start to move back into our day-to-day life. And we do this really gently by resting in awareness of the breath. So feel the air enter the nose, turns into the breath as it enters the body. And then as the chest falls, the breath once again becomes air as we breathe out. So breathe in air, it turns into breath in the body. And then we breathe out the breath and it turns back to air. The interconnectivity between us and the world, the breath. So I invite you to take your attention down into the belly. Relax the belly a little more and feel the gentle rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and out. You may want it to be a longer breath. The natural breath is fine, however feels right for you. Simply noticing the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and out. Take your attention down your legs, relax your legs. Know that you're sitting in a chair or on the floor or on the bed. Relax the legs and take the attention all the way down to the feet on the floor. And then I invite you to press your feet into the floor to feel really earthed. Wiggle the toes, feel the space around the toes. Place the toes down and then press the toes into the floor. You feel earthed. Taking your attention back up your legs, feel yourself sitting on the chair or the bed. The eyes are still closed, but becoming aware of the space around you. This feeling of being held and being supported. Maybe press your back into the chair so that or the bed. Just feel yourself really supported. Taking your attention up to the jaw. The jaw's relaxed. And consciously become aware of the teeth. Just separate the jaw a little and bring the tongue forward to rest behind the upper front teeth, just the tip of the tongue. Whilst you're in this place, breathe in. Feel the breath enter, moving down the back of the throat, and then back up again. And have the intention to see with your tongue resting in this position that you're probably not able to clamp the jaw shut. Just try it. And it's a beautiful place to, when we become aware that we have tension within the body, it's often held within the face and the neck. So bringing the tongue forward makes it very difficult to clamp the jaw, hence keeping the jaw in a relaxed position. So we're aware now that we're grounded. We know that we're supported by the chair. We know that our back is resting against a chair or the bed. We've wiggled our toes. Let's wiggle our fingers. Let's start to come back. Wiggle the fingers. So this is just a very gentle movement to start with, and then let's rest it. And before we go any further, let's just check in and notice how we feel without judgment here in the present moment. Notice the activity of the mind and notice the stillness of the body. Simply noticing. Noticing if there's slightly more peace and calm within. Because when we do this, we radiate it out. We radiate peace and calm out afterwards. So let's rub our hands together. We're going to start coming back into the world. Rub our hands. Really rub them, rub front and back. Keep your eyes closed for the moment. And then place these lovely warm hands that are energized somewhere in the body that maybe needs a little more loving kindness and attention. And send that loving kindness attention to that space, wherever it is in your body. And if there is nowhere that's calling out for any loving kindness, place your hands anywhere that feels comfortable for you. And breathe into that space. And then relax it a little more. The warmth of the hands, the intention of loving kindness to relax and release areas of tension in the body is incredibly powerful. So let's now take a long, slow breath in. So I'll guide you. Let's breathe out to begin with. And then breathe in really long and really slow and expand the chest, expand the belly if this feels comfortable for you. And then breathe out really slowly, really fully exhaling at the end of the breath. Tuck the belly in. And then breathe naturally and see the natural bellows effect. When we fully exhale, we fully inhale again. And the body goes, thank you, all that oxygen, I'm ready for that. Should we do that again? So let's exhale, tuck the belly in, let it go, and then breathe in. And as you breathe in, expand, and maybe expand your arms up and your legs up, as long as that's good for you to really expand into the space around you. And then hold it at the top, and then breathe out, and then take your arms down. So stay with the closed eyes. Let's do that again. Exhale, and then breathe in and really stretch. You become aware of all the space around you. Maybe flex your heels and the heels of your hands, the pads of your hands, and really feel that stretch. Hold it, and then on the out breath, wrap your arms around your shoulders and give yourself a hug. Put your hands around your back and give yourself a little rock. And then maybe say to yourself, thank you to yourself for coming, for giving yourself this gift of kindness and sharing with this beautiful community. We're here together. It's very powerful. It's wonderful. So So when you're ready, take your arms down and then lower your gaze. When you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly open your eyes and take your attention to your hands. And with your attention in your hands, you may become aware of the fizz, the life force, the energy within the body, because we've started to energize ourselves a little. Let's just rest for a moment, see if you can feel it. Your eyes are open, you're feeling the energy, the life force within the body. And we feel this when we're actually still. It's there all the time, but it's really nice to just sort of check in now and then. And then move your neck. We're going to start looking up and looking around the room. Move your neck. Let's just get a little bit of movement going. Is there anything in your room that's catching your attention with kindness? Maybe something. You go, okay, I noticed that. And then when you're ready, we put our hands together, what we call in prayer position. And we say to ourselves, Namaste. And to our heart, to ourselves, feel the thumbs resting in the heart space here. And then bow to yourself and bow to each other. And then we look up and we greet each other. And we take a breath. Is everybody okay? Would you, we're still muted. Would you be good enough to just give me the high hands? If you're okay. Everybody here? Yep, yeah. I'm seeing you all. That's lovely. Wonderful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stay with the recording for a moment, because a few people have asked me about some of the words I've been using this week. So I'd like to just do a gentle recap and then I'm going to open it up for everybody. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week. So our focus has been on kindness, care and compassion for ourselves. And when we fill ourselves first, then we can radiate it out, we can amplify it out to others. So we enter back into the world in the same world, but we come from a different place. We come from our heart space. So on Monday, we're looking at kindness. The word that I used on Monday was about beliefs. And it's about beliefs, I do believe, are given to us by others throughout our lives. And it's starting to maybe question some of those beliefs. Are they true? Are they kind? And are those beliefs nourishing to ourselves? Or do they hold us back? So it's becoming more mindful of some of the belief systems that maybe we could look at again if we are centered and supported. So that was Monday. Tuesday, we looked at the word knowledge. And in the middle of knowledge, we've got now. We've got the K, then we've got now. And knowledge is about, again, in my belief, is that it's about the experience. So beliefs are given to us from others, but knowledge is something that when we actually have this direct contact with, we start to know. We really start to know. And again, what I love about mindfulness is that it's our own unique experience. And when we check in at the beginning and check out at the end of the practice, if there is a shift, maybe a little shift, it may be minuscule, it may be quite a large shift where the body has time to relax, we know. That's the now, the knowing. It's direct experience. On Wednesday, we looked at forgiveness. Be able to forgive opens more spaciousness up for new to come in. And we looked at the word forgiving and separated it into two words. And we added gratitude to it. So when we forgive, we look to forgive ourselves. We do the best we can do. So forgiving ourselves is quite important because we have a critical mind. That's how the mind is sort of programmed to protect ourselves. So the words that we used was thank you first for giving me an opportunity to learn and grow. And with that forgiving, it moves into acceptance. So within the traditions, they say that everybody has got a message for us, whether we want to hear it or not. And sometimes that message can actually be quite abrupt or can really push our buttons. But it becomes our buttons, so that if we can start to forgive by looking at these lessons that we're being shown, whether they're good or slightly more painful, and saying thank you for giving me this lesson, because when we learn from these lessons, we do grow. And it's like, well, I didn't enjoy that at the time, but you know, it's been a lesson for me. So that was forgiving. Yesterday we looked at compassion, and we separated that into 2 words. The first part being compass, first 7 letters being compass, and the last 3 letters being ion. And this is connecting. Compassion is about kindness to yourself. It's becoming very sensitive. So when we become sensitive to our own compass, because through sensations or images or feelings or thoughts, when we become sensitive to these, we can start to, through the ion, which is molecular polarity, plus or minus, we can start to see, you know, through that inner knowing, that compass, was that good for me, or was it not? Was it nourishing or non-nourishing? And it's not about any rules here. It's simply noticing and putting you back in the driving seat of, you know, okay, tonight I'm going to have a pizza and a couple of glasses of wine, say, and go, well, okay, well, I'm going to really enjoy this. You know, giving yourself that inner compass of saying, yeah, tomorrow maybe I won't be quite as lively. Maybe this is just a sort of a hypothetical situation, but this is what I'm choosing to do. So what I'm trying to say here is it makes you a conscious choice maker. And then the word today is the word of the week, which is kindness. And being kind to ourselves is fundamental to being kind to anybody else. And we used to use the word kind a lot more than we do now, because we used to call humanity, as we call it now, we used to call it humankind. And I'd like to start a charge of changing that back to talking about humankind, because it's automatically linked with the natural ability to be kind. We used to use mankind rather than guys or man or woman, about mankind. So when we put the kindness on to human or onto man or womankind, again, we start to change a vibration of bringing kindness into our lives and into the lives of others. And I'm sure we've all been asked, who's your next of kin? Of kith and kin. Kin is the first 3 letters of kind, and then kindness. So this was rather nice to begin with, to bring somebody or something into your mind, that brings you love and abundance, and it very likely to be the next of kin, your kin, your kind person, or the kind place that you like to go. So remembering kindness every day, all day, you know, by bringing these various words into our life, starts to be the shift. So thank you for listening to me. I hope some of this has made some sense, some of it has resonated. And I'm going to stop the video now, and then we'll open up to conversation, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's happening over the next 5 weeks. So I'm just going to stop the recording.